Good morning, everyone. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we meet upon this morning, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and elders past, present and future. The elders of the future. It's interesting. Sometimes I wonder what the elders of the future are doing right now. It's interesting when you picture something abstract like that, and whether you picture them as a man or a woman, here in Sydney, in Melbourne, in Waterdooloo, in a boardroom, or outdoors caring for country. All these assumptions that come into it, all these things that we think we know about something. Well, today I want to talk to you all about assumptions and things that we think we know, but I want to redefine that in terms of Indigenous students and what success looks like for Indigenous students. In Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students in our primary schools, high schools, TAFE and university. What are our assumptions about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students? What if these assumptions are wrong? I mean, that's such a big deal anyway. Did you know that 6 in 10 Australians have never met an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander person? I think that most Australians would imagine an Indigenous student to probably more likely to be sporty than academic. They might imagine that they have a patchy school attendance record. Maybe they're more likely to drop out before year 12. If they did go to university, maybe they're the first in their family to go to university and they might not graduate. Well, today I want to talk about those assumptions because they come from and feed into this thing called a deficit narrative. A deficit narrative is when you focus on the negative things like gaps, deficiencies, failures. And when you do that, you reinforce negative stereotypes. And that can lead to unconscious bias. So today I want to look at that because we want to reject it. We want to move against deficit narrative and negative assumptions. But if you do that, it doesn't mean that you pretend there aren't challenges. It just means that you broaden your context and you broaden your focus to include diversity and capability and strength. If we can redefine the way that we think about Indigenous students, that is really powerful. So today I want to do that as I share my own story. I grew up in Canberra. I have a non-Indigenous mother who's from Canberra and an Aboriginal father whose family is from Cowra in central New South Wales. So I'm a Wiradjuri woman, and 5 years ago I graduated from Cambridge with a Masters in Public Policy. Do you want to know the most frequent response I get from people when they learn that I have a Master's degree from Cambridge? It differs. It differs depending on whether they're Indigenous or non-Indigenous. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people tend to say, "Where's your mob from? Which family in Cowra?" And I think it's because they want to understand how we can relate to each other, what we have in common, what we share. They want to talk about connections. Non-Indigenous people tend to say, "So what was it that made the difference for you?" And I think it's because they want to understand how me and my experience is different to their idea of what an Indigenous student is. So on the one hand, we have connections and context, and on the other hand, we have difference and deficit. I think we need to spend more time talking about the connections and the context. I think we need to redefine Indigenous success and stop disregarding it as an exception or as an outlier. So when I tell you my story today about how I got to Cambridge, try and catch yourself if you're thinking, "Oh, so that's how she's different from other Indigenous students." Instead, try and challenge yourself to think, maybe I have been looking at it wrong. All right, let's start with Mum and Dad. Mum and Dad both went to university. They have a Bachelor in Education, both of them, and Mum has a Master's degree. They encouraged me to have a go at trying new things and meet new people. Does that make me different from the other Indigenous students? As Deputy CEO of the Aurora Education Foundation, I oversee a high school program, and during the pilot of that program, we had 102 Indigenous students from across New South Wales, Victoria, and Western Australia. 2/3 of those students had parents who had not gone to university. But let's flip that. Let's not focus on the negative. That means 1/3 of those students did have a parent that went to university. An independent evaluation of that pilot found that the vast majority reported positive home environments where their parents encouraged them and their educational aspirations. So maybe I'm not that different from them after all. When I was in high school, I got pretty solid grades. Sure, I had good classes and not so good classes, but I didn't have to try terribly hard to pass, and I never failed a class. Does that make me different from other Indigenous students? Well, if you look at the NAPLAN results from last year, if you take Year 9 Indigenous students, 74% were at or above the national minimum standards for reading. 80% were at or above the national minimum standards for numeracy. Maybe I'm not that different. So why is this such a big deal? It's a big deal because if you have low expectations of what Indigenous students can achieve, it can lead to low aspirations. Low aspirations among teachers, principals, parents, support staff, and sometimes even students themselves. You can see that right now. When you look at the high school programs that are targeted at Indigenous students, the vast majority are about school attendance and passing. That's absolutely critical. But why is it so hard to find anywhere about academically lifting Indigenous students? Aurora's high school program is one of the few. I think we need to throw out this old narrative. We need to broaden our frame of reference and stop disregarding Indigenous success as an outlier. We need to have a broad range of programs that focus at all levels of achievement. That's what we need to do if we're going to raise the bell curve of Indigenous achievement from left to right. I didn't drop out of university. I loved it. The Indigenous Centre at the Australian National University was my home away from home. I did these Indigenous studies classes that taught me about Indigenous languages and history and architecture and archaeology. It was amazing. And then that complemented really well with my Australian sociology courses, which taught me about Australian society more broadly. With the help of tutoring, I was able to get a distinction average across my majors, was accepted into the honours program, and went on to get first class honours. Does that make me different from other Indigenous students? Actually, no. Things have moved on a lot since the 1960s when Charlie Perkins was one of the first Indigenous students to go to university and graduated from the University of Sydney. Aurora has an international study tour. Goes to the United States and the United Kingdom, 6 of the top 10 universities in the world. To be eligible to apply for this, you need to have a distinction average or a really good honours grade. Since 2011, 136 Indigenous students have gone on that tour. There are other Indigenous students with those grades who haven't gone on the tour, so that's part of an even bigger number. Let's just imagine. 136 students walking through the courtyards of places like Harvard, armed with the marks to be suitable candidates to apply there. Now that's an image that really redefines what Indigenous students are capable of. And I know that because I'm one of those students. I went on that study tour. And when we left, we were kind of under this haze of all the negative assumptions that people had about us. Sure, we had good marks and we had families that supported us and wished us well, but we still felt those negative assumptions, and it can sometimes lead to this thing called the imposter syndrome, where you don't really feel like you belong somewhere. I remember when we were at Harvard, there was this other Aboriginal student on the tour, Sharon from Broome. Sharon really wanted to go to this class, but she was hesitant about going because she felt like she was out of her league. Anyway, Sharon did go to that class, and she came back so excited because she realised she really did belong there. By the end of this tour, it removed the brunt of those negative assumptions and that haze cleared. We went from asking ourselves, could I study here, to should I study here? Sharon went on to graduate from Oxford University with a Masters in Second Language Acquisition and Applied Linguistics. By the time the study tour went to Cambridge, the head of the Masters of Public Policy unit there responded to my out-of-the-blue email and agreed to meet me. When I met with him, I didn't need to explain to him what my journey was like to adjust his frame of reference for Indigenous students. He told me that based on my marks, my work experience and my career aspirations, that I would be an ideal candidate and I should consider applying. I did just that, and I was accepted into the course and got a Charlie Perkins scholarship to go there. I'm not the first Indigenous student to go to a top-tier university, and I'm not the last. With the help of our partners like the Australian Government, the British Government, the Charlie Perkins Scholarship Trust, the Roberta Sykes Indigenous Education Foundation and Aurora, there are 29 other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students that have graduated from Cambridge, Harvard and Oxford. There are another 16 that are there now, including at other universities like London School of Economics, the Royal College of Art and UCLA. These 16 students all got in on their own marks and go through alternative entry pathways. Our CEO, Richard Potop, he comes at least once a week. So at these universities, they're holding a space for these students, right? They're going in through some other pathway. He has to repeatedly explain these students get in on their own marks. These students are doing archaeology, anthropology, oncology, cybersecurity, biological mathematics, fine art, history, education. These Indigenous students include 3 Rhodes Scholars, an Australian Achiever of in the UK through the Australia Day Honours, and that's just this year. These Indigenous students make up 4.2% of Australian postgraduate students at Oxford. We only make up 3% of the Australian population, 4.2% of postgrads at Oxford among Australian students. These Indigenous students are coming home to be senior public servants, to work in labs, universities doing research, directing the Biennale of Sydney, working with ministers, working with Indigenous business startups. These Indigenous students are also not the only Indigenous people who are reaching these kind of heights and these kinds of roles. The reality is much richer than the stereotypes suggest. The cost of not including all of this in our assumptions means that we can lead to lowest aspirations. And some Indigenous students may not be reaching their full potential. Sometimes I wonder how many students didn't apply on those overseas studies if they had gone on a study tour. Sometimes I wonder if there's Indigenous students right now who aren't striving because they don't believe it's possible. We need to stop disregarding Indigenous success as the exception or as outliers. We need to normalise it. We need to move from deficit and difference to connections and context. We need to redefine what Indigenous success is. And that's Indigenous students reaching their full potential, whether that's finishing Year 12 or a PhD from Harvard. All of those pathways and everything in between should have a valid and valued place in the narrative of our nation. Thank you.